Hey guys, it's Khaki. I am home from the hospital. I had my gastric bypass yesterday. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about my surgical experience and my first day home. The night before surgery, I had to wash with a special antiseptic gel that they gave me. So you're required to shower with that, pay special attention to the areas that are actually going to be operated on, so your abdomen. Sleep on clean sheets that night, get up in the morning and do it again, and then go to the hospital. I had to arrive at 5:15 a.m. Didn't sleep much the night before. I'm not sure if it was worry about the surgery, worry about not getting up in time, oversleeping. But that morning, I wasn't nervous at all. It was, I was to the point where it was done, it was decided. Worrying was just not an option anymore. So when we got there, the nursing staff, after we checked in the pre-op area, took me back. Changed into a hospital gown, got my IV started. Then my husband was allowed to come back and visit with me a little while before I was taken to the OR. Before I went to the OR, I was given a drug called Versed, which is a sedative. It's a very powerful sedative, but it didn't seem to have any effect on me. I was still talking when I was rolled into the OR. And I remember, talking to people in the OR, and then when they put a mask on me, presumably with some type of sedative in it, that was the last I remember until I woke up in recovery. When I woke up in recovery, I was in some pain and a little bit nauseous. I think the pain was more related, though, to my back, where I had been laying flat on the operating table. And then I was kind of low down in the bed, and the head was up, so I was in a very awkward position. And I was still out of it to the point that I couldn't adjust myself. And when I tried to pull on the side rails, I did have some pretty significant pain in my abdomen. So the nurses were able to get me repositioned, and I got a little bit more comfortable that way. I did get pain medicine and nausea medicine there. Due to the hospital being very, very full and no room available, I did end up staying in recovery for about 4 or 5 hours. I was very ready to get to a room by then. So when I got the room, they rolled me up. Um, by that time, I was really not in any significant pain. It was more a muscle soreness, like you had done 1,000 sit-ups. I can't imagine what that would be like, but that's how I feel like it would be. And then just a slight pulling sensation. So when I got into the room, the the nurse asked me what my pain level was, and about at that time it was probably a 5 out of 10. So they gave me a little bit more pain medicine since it had been 4 hours since I'd gotten any after surgery. And I got up immediately, started walking. Um, my husband and my sister were there, and I sent them home because at that point there was nothing, nothing they could do for me. And I thought that the rest of the evening I would probably be just watching TV, walking, and sleeping, which turned out to be true. So I got up and walked around the room constantly. It was a very large hospital room, so probably 20 feet. So I would watch my cell phone time and walked about 10 minutes solid, and then would sit down on the bed. I found that it was actually more comfortable to lie down than it was to sit down, as the pressure in my abdomen sitting, was kind of exacerbated by the uh, sitting position. So I did that several times. They brought me a tray with a popsicle, sugar free, some chicken broth, and I believe some jello. I didn't I think I ate half the popsicle, a couple of sips of the broth, not much of the water, unfortunately. And I think it was more, I wasn't hungry. I wasn't really thirsty. I'd had ice chips continually since surgery, but a little bit fearful. I'd read other people's comments about how after surgery they drank too much and had the foamies or some pain in their chest or upper abdomen. So I was very fearful of that. I was doing well and didn't want to provoke anything. And I, of course, was on an IV. So I knew that I was being hydrated that way. So throughout the evening, I would just get up and walk quite a bit and then slept on and off through the night. I think I got one more dose of pain medicine early in the morning. And the next morning I woke up, felt a lot better, still with some, some pressure, gas pain from where they fill you up with air to do the surgery. And just had got up, walked. That helped quite a bit. I did take Gas X with me, and I took that. I don't know if the walking or that helped, but I did both, and it did get better. About 9 o'clock, the nurse came in and said, "Well, are you ready to go home?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." So the hospitalist came by and looked at my incisions and said, "Everything looks good. We're sending you home." So I was in the car on the way home by 10 a.m. And upon getting home, walked around the house quite a bit. I did take a pain pill. More, I wasn't in severe pain, but the ride home, and I've developed a little bit of the cough. I don't know if it's secretions from being intubated or allergies because they didn't give me my allergy medication at the hospital, but just a little trickle and coughing is pretty painful. So I did have a pain pill, walked, had some, drank water, drank a little bit of broth. I did discover what sipping means. I was sipping and then kind of forgot and took a normal drink, and I could tell it. I did have pain in my abdomen with that. But it went away very quickly, but it kind of reminded me what the volume constraint is. So I'm being more careful about that. So this is day after surgery, and overall, I can't be more pleased. Everything went well. I hope that it continues this way. Oh, one more thing. At the hospital, they did have, I am taking Lovenox, which is the blood thinner to prevent DVTs. It was kind of my doctor or PA presented it as, "How do you feel about this?" And I'm all for it. My husband has had DVTs and a pulmonary embolism in the past, so I want to do anything I can to prevent that. So it's injections that you give yourself daily. They started that in the hospital. I'll be doing it for 10 days. And then also had to wear compression hose and the SCDs that, compress your legs in sequence to stimulate blood flow and prevent clots. So that was also something that we did in the hospital. But anyway, overall, good experience. I'm actually feeling better than I thought I would be this soon. I know everybody is different. Some people have higher pain levels, and I may develop that in a few days. I don't know. But for right now, everything is going smooth, and I just wanted to let everybody know. Thank you so much for your well wishes, and I will keep you updated. Happy Thanksgiving.